Across the country, ordinary people are asking simple questions about the places we live and discovering answers that affect us all. This documentary, produced by the National Residents Association, begins with the recent flooding events in Monmouthshire, where local residents have faced significant disruption and loss. You'll hear directly from some of those affected as they describe what happened and how it continues to shape their daily lives. Although the events were covered by mainstream media, many people in the community feel that the full impact and the ongoing aftermath has not been fully understood. This documentary aims to explore their perspective.
So today I am with Claire and I am with
Bethany.
Brilliant. And both of these two people have been impacted by the recent Monmouth flooding. People might have seen that on the news, and I've just taken some footage of inside their pub and they're happy to share their story with us. So I was just wondering, Claire, if you could just start off and just tell us exactly what happened, the impact that it's had since, and what that's looking like for the community.
Long story short, we were basically at the end of the evening cleaning down as normal for the next working day. We literally spotted some water on the left-hand side. Was it left-hand side? Oh, yeah, left-hand side of the street, coming from up the street downwards, and then thought that's a bit strange, maybe it's a blocked drain. So we were literally finishing off. I'd literally just taken our takings upstairs, come back down, was taking the nozzles off the bar, which was one of the last things I had to do, and then we were just literally impounded with water, and it was like a massive wave. By the time we got to the stairs of the accommodation above us, we were over knee-high in water, and that's where we remained for the next 12 hours plus before we were rescued from the Robin.
So tell me about the rescuing situation. That must have been pretty scary, being stuck upstairs in your property when this water is just gushing everywhere.
So basically we were stuck upstairs. We weren't able to get out of the building. We were completely surrounded by water. It was filling all through the pub. It was literally like a river outside. Currents were unbelievable. Cars were floating down the street. One of them hit our building. Labrook's window literally popped out. It was unreal. We lost power quite quickly, so were unable to get any drink or food or anything because the kitchen's on the ground floor. It was scary. I'm not going to lie, it was scary because we didn't know quite how high this water was going to come. And we were rescued by the fire brigade after just over 12 hours, I believe, and taken up to a safety point. And then obviously we're unable at this point to return to the pub. We don't have any power. It's still got the dirty, mucky, sewagey type water in there. And I believe that we're waiting until Tuesday to start deep clean. However, we weren't the only ones impacted by this. There was residents, there was shopkeepers, there was people stuck in the buildings opposite us above with children, dogs, everything. The whole entire thing is just a disaster. The amount of residents alone, without the businesses that we've all lost, was unbelievable.
So I'm with Paula, and you own the hairdressing shop.
Yeah.
Can you try and kind of tell me a little bit about your experience with this situation?
So, for some reason, I wasn't actually sleeping that night anyway. I live about 20 minutes away from the area, and I just saw a clip on Facebook around about 1 o'clock in the morning, and it was just across the bridge, and the water level had gone into the seating area. So at that point I thought, I'm gonna keep an eye on this. Seeing some more news flashing up on Facebook as the night proceeded, it was around about 2:30 in the morning, I decided to check our CCTV.
Yeah.
And I could see the water rippling out of the window, and I just thought, that is getting really, really close. About 20 minutes later, it was so much further forward. It was so quick that it was happening, and by 3 o'clock my electric had turned off. And being that little bit further afield, it was like, what can I do? I tried messaging local people in the area to check if they were okay, because I thought if it's high here, my friends that live nearby, I just thought I need to wake them up. I need to get in touch with them. So yeah, there was a bit of communication with people that live around the area to try and find out what was happening. I kept seeing again more footage on Facebook with the drones that were going around. I managed to get in first thing Saturday morning, but they wouldn't actually allow me to come any further. There was no way, there was no access to the property at all, because all of the roads nearby were still flooded. I think we managed to get to the shop around about 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and it was just... So the fire crew were working really, really hard through those few hours to get the water levels down here, but it was still flooded when I came Saturday morning. But yeah, 3 o'clock they allowed us to walk by to get to the shops. At that point the basements and things were still flooded. Our first walk through, it was devastating to come in, no electric. There was just silt everywhere. Things had been pushed over. But yeah, to see that was just, it was horrendous. And yeah, it was scary times really, not knowing what to do next, where to go, especially being a lot younger, never had to go through insurance or flooding. I've been very lucky. So it was just, what do we do?
So can you tell me from your perspective, are you a resident in the local area? How has this impacted you?
Yes, I'm a resident in the local area. I live on the Overmono area. I'm also a podiatrist, so my outhouse where a lot of my stuff is stored and where a lot of my business stuff got wet because it came into that area. So I have been impacted, and also I have a garage on the Brook Estate, which normally doesn't flood because it's the second one down, and I had a spare steriliser in there, which unfortunately got wet. So I've had to contact Monmouthshire Housing Association to get the garage cleared. Yeah, and the autoclave, I don't know whether it'll ever work again. So
with this situation on the evening that it happened, how close were you, and was your house impacted? Or?
The actual house wasn't flooded. It was the outhouse that sits about a foot below the house. But I'm right over on Cloudie on the back of the ditch, so it doesn't normally affect us. So we were really surprised with the amount of rain we had, and I know we were told we had 5 inches in 5 hours, but it didn't seem like it had been happening for very long for it suddenly to have flooded so far back onto the floodplain. Yeah.
Do you know other people that have been impacted and lost their homes from this situation?
Yes, I do, and I was talking to a chap who's on the Monmouthshire Road, and he brought to my attention that we have a pumping station, the Monmouthshire pumping station, just at the back here, and that, from what I can see, from what I've read on the internet, is an automated system, so that shouldn't need an engineer to go out to it. But an engineer was escorted out by rescue services, I believe it was the Coast and Maritime Agency, escorted him out in the middle of the night, and he was waist high in water. So I have a big question mark about why that system needed an engineer to go out. The automated system, yeah. That's from what I can see, it is operated by Welsh Water, but it is, I think, the operation is Monmouthshire County Council. I'm also told by somebody who's local that the plant is inspected once a month. So
I think there needs to be a public inquiry as to what's happened here locally, because if that wasn't working as it should, and I'd have to question if it was working as it should, why did it need an engineer to go out? Then maybe our area wouldn't have flooded as badly. I think we would have definitely been impacted in town, but the devastation this side of the bridge and beyond, I have question marks about it.
Good afternoon, Roslyn. Thank you so much for agreeing to be interviewed today.
Hello there.
Hello. So I wanted to take it back a little bit further with you, because you don't actually live in this area per se, but you've had experience of this on quite a few occasions.
Yes, so I live at the other side of the town, a road called Forge Road, and we have the same experience as the village up the river from us, the village of Skenfrith. So usually this side of the town doesn't really get flooded. It has defences, but our street, as well as the village of Skenfrith, has been flooded 4 years in a row, starting with October 2019, February 2020, last November, and this November. And oddly, I was told by a friend of mine who does a lot of investigation, he said, guaranteed your house will flood next November. He said that a year ago. And so how he knew that remains to be seen. Got my suspicions.
So with your area, what do you think is causing the floods? Because obviously 4 years in a row, every year, what sort of investigation work has happened?
Nothing. Nothing. We just get forgotten at that side of the town. Hopefully something will happen this time, but as has been said, it will take public pressure, I believe. I think what might be contributory factors is that the drains don't get done unless you try and pressure them. There's a dike built at the side of our houses and the back got cleared 4 years ago, but I had to push for that, which it should really be the council's volition that they make sure that's done themselves. River dredging, why aren't the rivers being dredged? Why was a farmer put in prison for dredging the river? And why are they building on floodplains more and more, with I think 1.5 million houses to be built? And lastly, why is there no work done upriver to divert waters off at source?
So these are quite poignant questions, aren't they, really? Because, like you mentioned, the UK government are looking at building 1.5 million new homes all the way across the UK. So we're talking about, I'm seeing sites or hearing of sites of 24,000 little seaside towns, or, a whole amalgamation. Have you got any new planned developments in this area?
Not that I know of. I've just heard that they're building these data centres and these housing estates. Why would I ask though, have they built on floodplains here when they were told 20 years ago it would cause flooding? Who passed that?
So with your property, how long have you actually lived in that property?
I lived in the property, I bought the property 10 years ago. Before I bought it, I did get a flood report.
That's what I wanted to ask you.
Yeah, which said that the likelihood of flooding down there was minimal.
Okay.
I also spoke to the neighbours who had said, well, very little problem, we do get a bit, we had a bit 13 years ago, something like that. Well, I could cope with a bit, I thought, but now it comes to here in my house, so it's about 1.5 feet over the last 3 floods. This time it was about 4.5 feet in my house. It was pouring through the windows. I thought I woke up, I thought I'd left a tap on, and I just went downstairs. It was pouring into the electricals. It was frightening. Last year, I actually called for Sarah River Rescue.
Do you think that you've had enough mainstream media attention with this, or do you not think it's been advertised and talked about enough?
I personally probably don't think it has, because to move forward from this, I think this place does need some extra support on the flooding side of it, the defences to protect. But obviously, that's not my say. But I would be supporting extra defences in the future to protect the residents and to protect all the businesses and people that were involved.
What do you think was the main cause behind the flood?
We actually don't know. There's several different stories going around. The defences collapsed, the wall came down, it come from higher up, moved back down. Obviously, we really don't know, but on the other side of the Mono, that was also at risk at one point of flooding and coming over the other side. So we really don't know.
I mean, you're open now. How long did it take you to get open again?
So it was a week and 2 days. I'm very fortunate to have lots of family around me that came down to help with clear up. For the first 2 days we were doing it in darkness because the national grid kept turning off the electric.
So I have emailed Peter Fox, Martin Newell, our local councillor, and I'm waiting for replies back from them about it. I've also been told that there was debris the other side of the bridge, that the river hasn't been dredged in a very long time. It's very silted up, the Mono. And I'm also told that by local people that when the drains are cleared, they're not cleared in between. They're cleared downwards, but they're not cleared in between. And with us only being about 8 metres above sea level, and with us having 3 rivers and lots of tributaries, you would have hoped that it was absolutely paramount that was done properly because of where we live. It is absolutely essential. And I think that's where I'm coming from with the public inquiry, is that we can say, well, it was 5 inches in 5 hours, it was unprecedented, but this could happen again. This could happen next week, next month. We need to ensure that all measures are put in place to do whatever we can to ensure that this doesn't happen again or to the same severity. And they lost so many cars. Well, I just keep seeing these big transporters taking more and more cars away. I mean, locally, I've got to have seen 20, 30 cars in the last few days. While people's insurance is kicking in, you see another load of cars go off. You know, and one of my neighbours had a really beautiful Mercedes convertible. It's gone, because it became a national interest. So I think we need a national inquiry, because it could happen again so easily. And I don't feel confident that Monmouthshire County Council, Welsh Water, whoever is responsible, are taking enough pride in what they do to ensure that this doesn't happen. It just seems, 5 inches in 5 hours,
So I put on an abseil event for them to support them last summer.
I want to talk to you about that, actually. So
yeah.
You are actually a little bit of a local hero, aren't you?
I don't think so.
I would say you are. I would absolutely say you are. So it was last year then. So everybody had this emergency last year, and you decided you obviously wanted to bring the community back together.
I said it in the boat because I knew the thing is about SARA, they do river rescue, they actually save lives, they get people out of their houses.
Yeah.
And up the Severn, the Wye and the Mono. And they get not one single penny from central government, they get not one single penny from the council. It's all fundraised. So that's why I felt that I had to do something to raise money for them. However, this time round, I did actually call them and they couldn't get up to our houses. If we needed to be rescued from our houses this time, it would have to have been helicopter.
I would never wish this upon anybody to have to go through something like this, because this was a matter of minutes. 1 minute you have your house, you have your business, etc., everybody that was involved, and then within 5 minutes at the most, it was gone.
As the flood waters rose, daily life in Monmouthshire changed almost overnight. Roads that connected villages were suddenly cut off. Homes that had stood for generations were left uninhabitable. and families face the difficult task of rebuilding not just their properties, but their sense of security. Some people are still without the use of their kitchens, and a local food hub has been set up. Others are reliant upon staying in various locations. Many of the people whose businesses have been impacted, this has filtered down to their staff they employ, as they cannot do any work during this time. For many residents, the immediate shock was followed by a far more complex struggle, navigating insurance claims, temporary accommodation, damaged infrastructure, and the emotional toll of uncertainty. These are the parts of a disaster that are often unseen long after the cameras leave. Local communities proved resilient, coming together to support one another in ways that reflect the strength of rural life. Volunteers delivered food, checked on neighbours, and helped clear debris. But behind these acts of kindness lie deeper questions about preparedness, responsibility, and how vulnerable areas can be better protected in the future. In conversations with residents, a clear message emerges. They are not asking for sympathy, they are asking to be heard. Their experiences offer insight into the challenges facing many communities across the UK as extreme weather becomes more frequent and the systems designed to protect people struggle to keep pace. Through their stories, we begin to understand not only what was lost, but what can be learned and why it matters for all of us.